Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 613 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I just want to say to everybody here this morning, good morning. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right, doing better than you. But a little production issues. But you know what? I'm doing great. And I'm gonna raise your spirits today, Ryan.
Yeah. Good morning, Derpy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. No coffee today though, but I'm doing good.
Wow, no coffee.
So you're not gonna be as talkative as normal.
Yes.
Well, hey, I gotta tell you, the other day Derpy was really talkative.
He was. He wouldn't shut up.
He grabbed the show by the horns, man. He really
I
did.
think he spoke for like 5 words, man. It was
Well,
impressive.
no, he was like, "Hey,
I know.
these guys gonna let me do my review," and he hopped in there and he tore up, man.
He did too, I give Derpy, grief, but it's all in good fun.
It's almost like these are brothers,
No,
like the
No.
kind of
no,
relationship that a brother would have.
no, no. That's gonna be a big negative there, Haas.
Good morning, Jen on the board.
Now I'm not gonna uplift your spirits.
Well, once Mike's done interrupting me, I just want to say good morning to Jen on the board.
We're off to a rousing start here, boys.
Mm. I got, yeah, like I was saying before we got on the air, it's no wonder I'm in a terrible mood every day we get on this. The studio light, you know what? This is the last week that we're going to deal with it. I don't care what I have to do. I'm getting a new studio light by next week. I don't care what I have to do. You hear that, Derpy? I don't care what I have to do.
You get that light.
You, you, you get that light. You deserve that light.
You don't know what I go through with this light.
I know what you go through.
You hear it from a different part of the studio, but you don't.
Yeah.
You really don't know what goes on in here.
Okay, I don't want to see. It's like Tomlin said. I don't want to know how the hot dog's made.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to know how the hot dog's made. So I just, stay afar. I stay aloof. I listen to the drama. Then I see you come on here, a little frustrated, but as soon as we go live, you're good to go. That's why
A
you're
little
professional.
frustrated. A little frustrated.
A little frustrated.
Adolf Hitler was a little frustrated.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I just can't believe what I got to go through with this.
That might be the
light.
new T-shirt.
That might be the new T-shirt for sure, Mike.
Adolf Hitler was a little frustrated. Dash Ryan. It'll have a broken ring light in the background. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to uplift me. I don't know.
Derpy, are you uplifted?
I'm just shocked right now that you just said
Wait, that's just great.
that is the shirt. That needs to be a shirt.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Let's talk some football, guys.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Pittsburgh Steelers back in action this Sunday at 1:00. I do believe it's a 1:00 game in Indianapolis. Got the Indianapolis Colts, guys. The fourth game of the season. A lot of talk going on. A lot of different things that I do want to talk about today, because the team rankings came out. And they're all over the place. I seen five of them, and there's literally five. One were the 11th, one were the 3rd, one were the 7th, one were the 5th. I mean, what is there is there an official poll?
No.
Or is it just you just take whatever one and you like it and you go with it?
Yeah, you take whichever one like fits whatever narrative you're gonna roll with, and then that's the one people are gonna use.
All right, good. Then I know which one I'll use. I know I want to start by saying I want to talk about something before we do start. And I don't know if it's an issue that I have, but it's with Mike.
Oh no.
And with Brian. It's on our show often. Over the past couple of days, I've gotten a couple of conversations with these guys, and apparently they hate, not only dislike, not does it just irk, they hate Renegade.
Yes, the song.
And I don't understand why. I listen, I don't love Renegade, but I don't get the hate. I don't get the hatred. And the both of you, it's almost like you had a conversation with one another, because
but we didn't. That's the
because
funny
you
part.
both guys have the same exact the argument about the song Renegade. And again, I may have never ever pulled it up on my own and listened to this song in my life. I haven't. It's not one of my favorites. But it's almost like eating coleslaw on your sandwich here in Pittsburgh. You don't love it, but it just kind of became Pittsburgh culture. And I don't understand why you hate it. You hate it.
I hate it. I do. I like the video package. I like the concept of having this song but like the song itself does not pump me up at all. It does not get me excited for anything.
I mean, do you notice that the other 70,000 people in the stadium do like it?
They do, and I'm happy for them. I wish I could enjoy it like they do, but the song doesn't do it for me. And like you told me the other day, I'm a music snob. I like what I like. I can be swayed.
And I'm sure everybody don't love
like,
the Renegade, but when they're there, they're having a good time, and you have a few beers in you, and it starts playing, and you're waving your terrible towel, and everyone's getting excited. I mean, that's what people like. I don't think they necessarily like the song Renegade.
I think a lot of Yinzers really like the song Renegade.
I don't know. We don't know that for a fact.
I wish I could enjoy it the way my Yinzer brethren do. I really do. It just doesn't work for me. I was at a stadium when like the second year it started happening, and I remember like hearing about it because it was before it became big. And then like I was there with my dad and it happened. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, look at the jumbotron. He's like, "We just both had the same reaction. Couldn't they pick a better song?" And I just felt that way ever since.
I think it's your gene pool.
We like good music.
Apparently you don't, because 70,000 other people seem to do enough to get by. I mean, again,
I just think
I see young people, I see old people.
I'm happy for them.
I see black people, I see white people, I see Chinese people, but I'm sure they probably don't love Renegade.
And they're not pregnant Chinese women.
And once the game, once it gets started, and again, you get a little alcohol going in you, and the game's going, and people are waving their. I don't understand why people care. What's the?
It's not that
I've never thought about this even twice. Yeah. It's not even
when I'm watching, video
people
packages
of
these hard hitting highlights. I know when something so high pitched. I want something hard hitting music, hard hitting vocals. No, I can't. See,
that's mildly retarded what you're doing, actually.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what the song does to me. That's all I hear. I don't like it. I love the concept of it. The song just doesn't work for me. But I'm glad it hypes up the players, and I'm glid it hypes up the fans who are there. It works for the Steelers. So I like it in a sense.
Listen, you've been saying it for a few years, and it hasn't even really it didn't even penetrate. Listen, it didn't even enter my mind what you were saying. And then when a second person said it and had the same exact argument, I just don't get it.
I just wish it was a different song.
Do me a favor. Ask me if I like Renegade. Good.
Do you like Renegade?
No, I don't. I don't like the song. I think it's a stupid song. But when I'm at the game and I'm having fun and they play it and everyone starts going crazy, I can't see not going along with it and being a fan and enjoying myself. I don't understand the thought
like
process.
when I was there and it happened, I thought it was. I watched the video package, I liked it, but I wasn't like all amped up like everyone else was. It just doesn't work for me. The song doesn't work for me, and that's okay. But I'm glad it works for the rest of the Yinzer Nation and again, because it hypes us up.
I'm a blue collar guy, and I've always been a blue collar guy, which means I've always worked jobs where they've always had a radio and there's always been rock and roll playing. And again, it's a song that I'm familiar with, and I recognize that people were enjoying themselves. But I just can't. I can't hate. I don't understand the hate.
I just hate the song. I hate the song. I think it's the wrong song to use. Do I know the right song? No, I don't. But there has to be something harder to play that would get pumped up. But like you said, you have to appeal to a broad audience, and this Styx is like that broad audience appeal, and that's fine.
See, I don't think anybody likes Styx. That's the sad part.
I just think like the sound of it, it's just not as the song isn't like offensive to the ear musically as it doesn't bother me musically, but the way I think there should be a better song, but you know what, it works for the fans, it works for the players, and it's fine.
But it's been there since 2005. Nobody's it's never been a problem to change it, obviously.
It works.
I'm just trying to figure out the hate.
Hearing your sound.
I'm just trying to figure out the hate. It's not a dislike. It's not it just annoys you. You hate the song.
Yeah.
You hate the experience.
Maybe I do. No, because it gets the fans fired up. It
Is
gets the
is it
defense
because you're
fired up.
around people? Is that what it is? Because you're around people, maybe that's why you're annoyed, and then you hear the song, you're
No,
like,
no, no. I'm
ah,
annoyed. I'm annoyed
I
when
hate
I.
everybody. Ah.
No. I just think it's stupid. I just don't like the song. I don't like the song choice.
Part number two.
Oh, Jesus God, there's a second part.
Well, I don't know that you don't like this, but I've been hearing
Okay.
a lot lately that people don't like Acrisure Stadium. Now, before you come forth,
Mhm.
what do you expect? It's a football stadium.
Yeah,
There's a big yard in it that's 100 feet long, 100 yards long.
yeah,
There's locker rooms. There's places to go
yeah,
piss. There's places to go buy food. People hate Acrisure Stadium, and you know, I kind of thought that it was like a just outside of Pittsburgh. Now, there's nothing great about the stadium.
yeah,
Yeah, they're busting our balls, whatever. But they seriously don't like it. Nothing stands out about, well, what's a football. What do you want? What do you want? It's a football
yeah.
stadium. I
Yeah.
don't get what people want.
It doesn't like. Yeah, I just want to go watch whatever I'm there for. I've been there for a Steeler game, been there for the hockey games. I'm able to get in and out of my seats easy, relatively easy. It's
Listen,
parking sucks, but it's Pittsburgh.
I
Downtown Pittsburgh's laid out
acknowledge,
horribly, but it's
I
in and out. I
acknowledge
liked it.
how nice PNC Park is. I do acknowledge this. It's a very, very nice baseball stadium, and probably has one of the best. I know you do, Brian, and this is why I'm even bringing this up, because it's two of you. It ain't even. It's not just what the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's both of you. But the football stadium.
I have never had a problem
Listen,
with
the
Aggie
baseball
Sure.
stadium is beautiful. There's no two ways
Yeah.
about
Oh
it. The
yeah.
view makes that one of the best, but that I think really makes people uh not love Acrisure Stadium because it doesn't have
Yeah.
a view, which is stupid to me. Because again, you're playing football. Who cares? Who cares about a
Like
view?
I'm not like I'm going to a sporting event. I'm there to watch the sporting event. I don't care about any of the ancillary stuff going on the jumbotron. I don't care about the concession stands and stuff like that. I want some food. I'll grab something to eat. I'll grab a drink. Boom! I'm back in my seat, or I'm standing in the stands watching the game. I'm there to watch the game. Like I'm like one of
Do
the
you
worst
see?
people.
Do you see Jen? Do you see John? Do you see the problems that are going on here in Pittsburgh? I know you're in Las Vegas and Wisconsin, and you probably think, man, Pittsburgh, the Steelers. I would just, well, this is the kind of stuff that goes on day to day. Yes, we do love our Steelers, but it's always something. Nobody can be happy. It's the
I'm
stadium. No,
happy.
Brian saying millions of tax dollars were stolen from the people, which is what taxes are anyway. They're all stolen. So I
No,
wouldn't
they're not.
isolate. Yes, they are. I
No,
wouldn't
no,
isolate it to this one
no.
particular. Mike, you
The
already said
Brian's
no
right in
three
this one.
times. That's funny. Just
We
let me get
voted.
my point across, please.
Oh my
Please.
fucking god.
Okay, thank you. Millions of tax dollars were stolen from people to build a football stadium, and it's ugly. Now, if the football stadium wasn't ugly, would we then say the money was stolen? Or are we saying the money stolen to build beautiful PNC Park that everybody loves? No, nobody says that. I've never heard that in 23 years. So yins are fighting this argument. And I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand where yins are coming from because I just don't get it. And again, people outside of Pittsburgh probably think, we love our things here, and we do, with the exception of two people, which I don't understand.
I don't like the Renegades. So I never said one bad word about Heinz Field / Acrisure Stadium ever. Never said one bad word about
Well,
it.
then you could apply yourself to the other argument. Then don't.
Yeah, yeah. Renegade sucks. Video package awesome. Song sucks. Atmosphere awesome. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, man. That's better than what the Pirates are doing. That make them the best hitter on the Buccos.
So there you go. I don't know what people want out of a football stadium. It has 100
Me
yards in it.
either. Yeah, yeah.
Why? Because it has yellow seats? Maybe I don't know. Brian, maybe if you could expand on this. I just don't know why. How many NFL football stadiums have we been to be able to even judge
Yeah.
this?
Like, do they want like what Dallas has down there? Like you walk in, there's like big old shopping
See, that's
malls
not
of
Pittsburgh to me.
stores. No.
The fact that it's not perfect and the fact that it's not
Yeah.
beautiful spells Pittsburgh to me.
I'm there to go watch the game.
It
have
spells
some
blue
beers.
collar. It spells we don't want the Dallas Cowboys stadium. That's what it spells to me. It's a football field. That's where you go to play football. That's
Yeah,
where the Steelers show up every Sunday and play football.
I'm there to watch
What's the
game,
problem?
not look at pretty stuff around me.
Well, you want to hear the pretty songs. You just don't want to see the pretty sights.
Exactly.
Hey, look, and you disappeared right at that time.
I know that's some bullcrap.
This is I was saying pretty sights. You disappeared. How convenient.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I should have popped back in was when it said pretty sights. I come flying in. But no, like see, PNC Park needs to be beautiful because the on-field product is always terrible. Heinz Field doesn't, or actually does not need to be pretty because the on-field product, you're usually going to go watch a team win a game.
There you go.
It might not be pretty when they win the game, but you will leave there with a W. 50% of the time, baby.
And we won't get any playoff games here. You got to guarantee that.
But yeah, hey, we will win, make
Wouldn't
money,
you rather
and be
see
in
your
contention
team
until the very end.
Shouldn't that be something that people are more pissed about? Is not winning playoff games or not the stadium? Come on, we should be happy that we have a team. We should be happy that we have a stadium.
Yeah,
I like Three River Stadium. It was a piece of crap, but you know what? It was our piece of crap. Why don't people? Why don't people? There's no loyalty. There's no love. Where's the love?
I love the Steelers.
But you don't love what they have going on.
I like the stadium.
I don't like
Renegade. That's the
I don't like coleslaw, but you know what?
Renegade.
I'm not going to sit here and go, I don't like coleslaw.
I just don't.
It's fucking retarded.
I just don't.
Dude, it's
I don't get
Pittsburgh.
the hype behind it. I don't get the hype behind it, but it gets everyone fired up. So I'm happy they do it because it seems to work. Every time they play Renegade, we make a big defensive stop. So
we do, or a turnover, and it works. So what's the problem?
Or every once in a while we get burnt for a touchdown after, but that's okay.
The percentage goes the other way.
Percentage is probably like 95%. The defense steps up, and that handful of times something bad happens. But yeah, it gets the
all right. So I got your opinion. But
me. I'm okay with that.
And I know that you're okay with it. You said it plenty of times. I got your opinion for 16 straight minutes. Derpy, over to you. What do you think about the stadium in Renegade?
Well, I recently went to the game at the preseason, obviously, and I enjoyed my time. So,
did you enjoy Renegade when it came on?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the stadium when you were there?
Yeah.
Did you hate it?
Matters.
No.
Okay.
All right,
Mike, again, Mike, you 16 minutes. He has 30 seconds. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus
I want him to get his opinion out.
Okay, I can't stick up for the guy. I can't say this is what matters.
No,
he had a good experience.
Did he jump in when you were answering?
He does all the time.
Did he jump in when you were answering?
He does all the time.
Did he just jump in while you were answering this particular?
I don't know why you're taking your frustrations out on me.
I'm not taking it out on you. You're taking it personal. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Derpy, so you enjoyed Renegade?
Yes.
You enjoyed the stadium?
Yes.
And when you left, did you think to yourself, "Oh God, I really hated that field. It was not as good as the other football fields"? Did you say that to yourself?
Nope. I wish I could stay longer.
Okay.
It was like heaven to me.
All right. There you go. I just wanted to get everyone's opinion out there. That's all. Now let's talk some Steelers.
Yeah, buddy.
Now that Mike has a look on his face.
Now that Mike's going to be a dick for the next 43 minutes. So this next 43 minutes is going to be epic.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get ready for the show. So the Steelers did sign guys to the practice squad. They got CJ Henderson. Now, this dude was the first round pick, number 9 overall for Jacksonville in 2020. He's a cornerback. Now, he didn't last on Jacksonville too long. He got traded almost immediately, 2021, went to the Carolina Panthers, but the Steelers did sign him this week. Does anybody know the reasons here, Mike? Mark Malone, I agree with you on the board. Mark Malone says Mike is jinxing Renegade as we speak. That's not even me, Mike. You can't. Don't be.
I've been ranting and raving against Renegade off air. I think even on air before, and it still works. So don't put the bad juju on me.
Hey, Mark Malone is putting the bad juju on you.
All I'm doing is I'm just hoping that Renegade. I'm glad that people like it. It's not for me, but it works for the team. So keep playing it. I just say me personally, I don't like it.
All right, we know you don't like it. Mike, CJ Henderson. What's this guy's deal? Why did he only last a season in Jacksonville? And why is Carolina giving him up this soon? What's the deal with this guy? He was a first-round guy, 9 overall, corner, something that we could certainly use. What's the deal? Are we getting something here? Why is he on the practice squad? Is he going to move up? What's his deal? CJ Henderson.
Practice squad. He's one of those guys, former first-round pick that we like to pick up onto the practice squad to see if there's anything there, to see if we can, eke any production out of the talent that's sitting there. Okay, was it just wasted in Carolina? Was it wasted in Jacksonville? Can we get something from this guy? Can we see it in practice and get him onto the field. And if not, we'll just cut him loose and move on. It's the practice squad. We're not expecting a whole lot from you. It's one of those things, man. Like kind of like when they got Dwayne Haskins. We're gonna grab this guy, see if we can get anything out of him. And that's what this move is right here, just to see if there's anything in there. What's wrong with this guy? Because he flashed potential coming out of college. Being
Where is
drafted
he out
ninth
of? Do you know?
overall. I can't remember off the top of my head where he went.
Because I mean, you're gonna see a corner under 10 picks in the first 10 picks. I mean, you're getting a good athlete. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's his deal?
Yeah, I know he had like coverage issues. Florida. He went to Florida. He's only 25 years old, so if you can get him on the cheap, keep him on the practice squad the rest of the year. If we don't have to elevate him, that might be fine. If you have to elevate him, he has NFL experience. He's not going to be counted on to be the number 1, number 2 lockdown corner. So they can ease him in and see if there's anything there and work with him long term to be another addition to the secondary. But I think it's a low risk, high reward type move at this time of the year for a practice squad. That's what you have to do once players start getting hurt. There's not a lot of starter capable players out there. Take a flyer on a guy. I have no problem with this move.
Also, Steelers monitoring potential trades in wide receiver position. The market, they're keeping their eyes closely on Jacksonville and Tennessee at the time. Another name that you're seeing coming up quite often is Davante Adams out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I do believe that we will sign somebody, trade for somebody, get something over here. We're kind of ahead of, and we're not behind the 8 ball for once. We have 3 wins. We're undefeated, and we're looking to get better. We still have guys that are injured coming back. We have Roman Wilson, who hopefully we see soon. Also, Isaac Seumalo. I mean, he's got to be coming back here at some point. So, we have some pieces coming back to place that we certainly need in place as we want to move forward. But I do believe, Mike, they are keeping an eye on the wide receivers on these certain teams, because once you get to a certain point, let's say Jacksonville, they don't have any wins yet. You get too close to that trade deadline, and these guys might certainly trade pretty easily. But we're definitely keeping an eye around the league. Omar Khan and company are keeping their eyes open. I would love a Davante Adams, but the guy he's a head case in my opinion.
He has an attitude problem, and the way Pickens is playing this year, I don't want any negative influence in that receiver room. It finally seems like they're gelling.
Right,
nice. Everyone
we tried
has
to get
the right
rid of
idea
that for years.
And I think a lot of that's is happening too because of the new receiver coach they have in there. He's a no nonsense guy. He ain't gonna take crap from anyone. So, but I just don't want to add the Davante Adams headache. He gets that boo-boo face on the sideline. I don't want that rubbing off on Pickens. I don't want that rubbing off on any of the other receivers.
Because you've seen the way that Deontay Johnson kind of rubbed off on Pickens, and in his personality is totally different this year. He's not that same. He kind of had it was a little bit of an attitude. Yeah. Which you want attitude, you just don't want it with your team. You want it, at the right times, and there's a perfect time for things, and this wasn't it. Gentleman, he said he said in an interview he had a near-death experience and it gave him perspective. Not sure what happened. I'm assuming that we're talking about C.J. Henderson. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe there's he just wasn't taking the job seriously enough, and now he has that, like she said, that new perspective on life. Figure it out. So I would be awesome if he figures it out. That's added depth to that secondary, make it even better.
Absolutely. And Mike, we're after this week, we're halfway to getting Cam Sutton back. So I mean, again, we do have things that are going to be happening that's going to put things in place for us. But winning these games that we should win are certainly big. And I think the Indianapolis Colts is certainly a winnable game with Anthony Richardson back behind center. I think he's one of the worst performing quarterbacks to this point in the season, if I'm not mistaken. But Mike, let me talk about the Steelers for a couple more minutes here. A couple of the injuries that did go down and that were announced Tuesday on the Tomlin press conference was Corey Trice with his hammy. He's going to be out at least 4 games. Mike, does this, what are we learning about Corey Trice last year? Drafting him knowing that he was injury prone. He dropped down the board because he was injury prone. He misses the whole entire rookie season because he's injury prone. And here we are after 3 weeks of this season. He is going to be missing the next month at a minimum. I mean, who knows? Sometimes with
Yeah.
these injuries, it could go longer. Mike, are we learning a lot about Corey Trice, or is
Yeah.
this just something that's going to come and go?
It's going to come and go. That's what plagued him in college. It's this that an injury that pops up right when he starts playing well, because you can see the talent. And that's why people were saying he was a second, third round pick, but he fell to the seventh round. Everyone had him graded as a seventh rounder due to injury concerns, and you're hoping like, okay, maybe he can move past that in college. You tend to run into a period where you're injured. A lot of people move past it. I have a feeling he's just going to be that guy who's the snake bitten his entire career. And it's just going to suck because you can see the talent. You
Oh, he
can
has
see the
mad talent.
potential there. And it's just, I think this is why they went out and got Henderson too. That injury there. So
Absolutely. The second part of
like
that,
he's a guy you like to have him on the room, but
is Alex Highsmith, guys. He is
yeah.
going to be out also, which I like this. I think that I want to get a good look at Nick Herbig
Hmm.
starting from that side
Yeah.
opposite TJ Watt in this game. He has wheels like TJ Watt. The guy plays a lot like TJ Watt. He doesn't have that long arm that could reach the whole way across the line and make a tackle from his own sideline. But other than that, he is a player that puts you a lot in mind of TJ Watt, the same style, and he
Yeah.
learned a lot from TJ.
Hmm.
Um, Mike, again, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad that
Yeah.
Alex until we give up 200 yards rushing off to the left hand side this
Yeah.
week. I'm
Yeah.
not mad at this at all.
Exactly.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, I was watching some. I forget who was breaking down the film. It might have been Brian Baldinger again. He does a lot of film breakdown, and it was showing Herbig against the run, and he's not a big guy like Alex Highsmith is, where he can use that weight and power. Herbig was,
He's quick.
ducking. He was ducking in between the defenders and forcing running backs to cut around and allow corners and safeties to come in and make the play. So he might not be able to bull rush those tackles and guards, but he can, cause havoc to where they have to jump out of position out of their run lanes, and then that allows everyone else to come clean up. So it's going to be interesting to see how, like you said, how he's going to hold up in the run game. Because much as we like to talk smack about Highsmith and not getting the sacks that we want out of him, I love him in the run game on that side. So Herbig has shoes to fill in that department. I'm okay with him when it comes to pass rush downs.
Yeah, I like I said, I look forward to it. I want to see
It's going to
Herbig
be, yeah,
start.
and it. You hate to say an injury is a blessing in disguise, but it is. You're going to see what we really
Oh,
have
the
in
Tommy
Herbig.
Maddox injury was the best injury in Pittsburgh
Oh
history.
yeah, yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine if Ben would have sat around for 4 years and they would have
Oh
decided they
God,
didn't
yeah.
want him and because he was a
Yep.
bench? Come on,
Yeah.
you got to love a good
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah. And it happened at a position of depth too, where we have quality depth as well. And look for DeMarvin Leal to get more playing time too.
I like that. I
See
like
what he
Leo.
has too, because he said, "Hey, Herbig and Watt can't go all game. I'm going to get my chances," and he's ready to show that last year was a fluke, of his down year.
Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers have only let up 6 points this season in the second half. 6 points. That is the best by a good touchdown, a little bit more. The
Yeah,
Steelers have let up 6 points in the second half of football games so far this season. The next best team has 14, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. Is it safe to say, Mike, that we're going to ride this defense all year?
yeah, yeah. We kind of knew that going into the season, if that's what we're going to have to do, working into quarterbacks new to the team. We're going to have to ride that defense. And the way Fields is playing, the way they're being a little bit conservative on offense, playing smart ball control offense, you're going to need that defense to keep teams under wraps. So I like it. I think it's excuse me, a good way to win football, especially against these bad teams early on. Just let that defense go out there and wreak havoc.
Here's another interesting number to go along with this, Mike. Now, point differential obviously is something that you gain a lot of leeway by scoring a lot of points. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're only the fifth team of fifth. We're the fifth best team in the NFL with a plus 25. So
Yeah.
mind you, we've scored what 3 touchdowns in 3 games,
Yeah.
but the defense really goes a long way because the
Oh,
number one
huge.
team, Mike, is Buffalo. They're at a plus 64. The Saints are
Mm-hmm.
at a plus 59. The Vikings are plus 55. The Seahawks are plus 30, and us coming in is the fifth best team in the point
Yeah.
differential, Mike, plus 25. So, we could do this with offense or without, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we've been doing it for a few years now. So it's, nothing new to us. And we're all worried about like quarterback play this year. You have two guys that are kind of like turnover prone, and we only have one so far. And we're kind of like on track to where we were last year with the turnover ratio. So we're looking a little bit better than last year, especially this defense playing much better than we did last year. Because I think this offense is now converting more third downs. Coleman said in his press conference he wants to see that number increase on third down efficiency, but we're keeping that defense fresh and we're getting a little bit of a lead in games, and that defense can just take over. Whereas last year everything was really, really close, and we had to come back in a lot of those games. Now the defense can just pin their ears back
Nobody's
and go to
prepared to play
town.
these kind of games more than the Pittsburgh
Yeah,
Steelers. I
yeah.
mean,
It's like we've
this
been
has been our
building for
team for
this.
3 years. Nobody had to go through this for 3 years the way that we play and win the football games that we win. Let me throw a little candy out there, something a little sweet for everybody. If the playoffs started right now, and they're not, if the playoffs started right now, and before everyone starts writing it's I understand that it's not. The Pittsburgh Steelers would be the number one seed in the AFC,
As we all predicted.
as we all predicted. It would break down like this, guys. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as this moment, are the number one seed, I think, by wins in the AFC, however it is, but they are over Buffalo and Kansas City. Buffalo's the number 2 seed if the playoffs started today, then Kansas City, then the Houston Texans. That's your 4 division winners. Then the Jets, then the Chargers, and then the Raiders. At this point, if the playoffs started, and again, I'm very aware that they don't, and the NFC would look like this. Vikings would be the number 1 seed. The Seattle Seahawks would be the number 2 seed. The Saints would be 3. Washington would be 4. Those are your division winners. And your wild card teams would be Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Detroit.
Wow. Some heavy hitters that people thought would be dominating early on are not in there.
Yeah.
This is why you play the game.
Yeah, because we'd be, if you didn't play the game, we'd be in the basement right now,
we
and
would be
everybody
the
else would be
bottom
over us.
dwellers. Yeah.
And rightfully so, Mike, because listen to these numbers. $275 million is what Lamar Jackson makes. Joe Burrow makes $275 million. Deshaun Watson, 274. Mike, they equal $823 million between those three men. They have a total combined record of 2-9. We paid for this guy that we have $3.2 million, and we are 3-0.
Yeah.
$823 million compared to $3 million.
And he's playing better football than Watson and probably Lamar. Like Burrow's not doing too bad. That defense just sucks over there, thankfully. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take our little guy that everyone wanted to poo-poo on and laugh at us for getting. I'll take it. That's money well spent. That's why we're able to have a stout defense.
Also, while we're doing this, the top 10 ranking in the AFC. No, this is combined. The top 10 rankings overall by Fox Sports. Mike, Fox Sports, always heavy on the NFC, but
always.
Number 1, Kansas City. Number 2, Minnesota. Number 3, Philadelphia. Number 4, Pittsburgh on this particular poll.
Wow.
Number 4, then it would be Buffalo, the Saints, Houston, Seattle, the Jets, and the Chargers, according to this particular poll by Fox Sports. So
I saw one. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I saw one where we dropped 3 spots in their rankings, even though we dominated San Diego. The Bengals lost, and then they leapfrogged the Steelers.
Yeah, I seen one.
I forget which one that one was.
You have to pick and choose which.
Yeah, because I was going to screenshot that one and send it over to you, and I forgot. I was like, these power rankings are comical, man.
Another one has us at 4 behind Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Lions. So I mean, it's all typically has us in the same area. But again, I seen one where it has like 11, which isn't consistent with any of the other polls that I'm seeing. Yeah. But Mike, one more, and then we'll get back to just some regular football talk. This is according to, get this, Pro Football Network. Pro Football Network, you may have seen PFN, their power stand rankings. Mike, defense, you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Pro Football Network, power rankings. The best defense, according to them, in the league is the Cleveland Browns. What am I missing? Number 2, the New York Jets.
What
am I missing? Number 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Saints, Buffalo, Baltimore, Minnesota, Seattle, Kansas City, Chicago. That is according to Pro Football Network, not NFL Network, Pro Football Network. Sounds
Well,
like
we
something
had
a bite off of the PFF.
yeah, we're number one in yards,
Everything.
opponent's yards, 229. We're number one in scoring defense at 8.7, I think it was. So I don't know what metric they're going by.
Again, that's why you can't go by all these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to really
Yeah.
look and find out which ones are accurate, because that's unbelievable. The Cleveland Browns, the best defense. Come get out of here. Come on.
No. Yeah,
we given up 6 points all season in the second half.
Yeah, I when I look at defenses, I have to find out who's the best. I don't really look at yardage given up. I look at points given up, because that's what decides the outcome of the game. Yeah, yardage matters, blah, blah, blah. But points given up. 8.7, yeah, we're the best defense in the league.
Yes, Jen, it is a joke. It's ridiculous.
It's comical.
It's farcical. Brian, you do have a good point. He says, you remember when Alan Faneca was pissed that Ben had that he had Ben as his quarterback when Tommy Maddox went down? You know what? Yes, I do.
Yeah, the reporter asked, "Were you excited for the rookie?" Hell no. Would you be excited?
You remember
if a first-time reporter started working with you? Like, way to be a veteran leader there, Faneca. But Faneca came around.
But I do remember that very well. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday, 1:00 at the Indianapolis Colts. Mike, something about these Ravens I do want to talk about real quick here. The Ravens since 2020 have been 41-18 against every team in the NFL that's not the Pittsburgh Steelers. 41-18.
I love it.
They're 1-7 against us in that period of time.
Yeah, and everyone's acting like, oh, how can Pittsburgh compete in this division?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's it. Do people actually look at take a deep dive into records and how teams
don't think they
head
do.
To head?
Compared to what we just listened, this little part of the show is about the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals, and how ridiculous things are. Because again, if you look at things logically, you would see that the Browns do not have the best defense. You would see that the Ravens, again, all offseason long, this is going to be the worst team in the league. They're going to be in the basement. These three teams are way better. We can't run in this division. There's no way we can survive in this division. Again, only 3 games in, I acknowledge that. However, it's all we have to go by. If we had 10 games, I'd go by those 10 games. But as of right now, it is what it is. Mike, the Ravens have had, again, 1-7 since 2020. The Bengals are 0-3. Mike, only 6 teams in the NFL history has made the playoffs after starting 0-3. Yet these Steelers are doing what the Steelers do. They're winning football games. They're at the top of the division. And again, they're looking pretty good, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah, and
good enough, right?
Yeah, Baltimore's defense is giving up 26 points a game. Cleveland's giving up 22 points a game.
22 points, and that's the best defense according to that poll. Come on.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find Cincinnati here, where their defense is at, because I know it's not that good.
Down the bottom.
I'm a little oh my God. They're 26. Sorry, at 26.7 points a game. Yeah, so
that's our division. That's the tough. And again, don't get me wrong. We have a tough division. Yes, I acknowledge that. Yeah. But where they said we should be, it's a farce. It's crazy.
Yeah. And like you always say, you've been saying the past couple of years, the Steelers are constructed to win the AFC North. We're constructed to compete against Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati year in, year out. So that's why we struggle with the out of conference teams, or out of division teams, excuse me. So yeah, that's why it's farcical.
We are the AFC
people say
North.
We're the best.
Yeah. The only reason the teams are in the AFC North the way that they are is because we are the way that we are. Teams have to build themselves like the Steelers to compete with the Steelers in the division. That's number one. That's before you could do anything, you try to win your division, and nobody should be out Steelering the Steelers, because again, it's made around us.
Yeah, and we're the only team that consistently stops and frustrates Lamar Jackson. And that's what's called. If I was other teams, I'm sure they're doing it. They're scouting what we do, but they can't apply it to them. So yeah, when people doubt the Steelers, it makes me comical.
One more thing, Mike. We do have to move on, guys. How about this? This sure didn't age well. Colin Cowherd, this idiot.
Oh no.
Colin Cowherd earlier says, before the draft, says Pittsburgh should have traded, or around draft time, Pittsburgh should have traded TJ Watt, George Pickens, and 3 number 1 picks to get Caleb Williams in the draft. To trade all that, Mike, trade all that. TJ Watt, George Pickens, 3 first-round picks to get Caleb Williams with that number 1 pick overall. I think that it's the best thing in the world that they didn't. This guy, I mean,
well, like that short you sent me yesterday of their offensive line all falling down on that play. Like, nah.
This is why this
it's hard to evaluate Caleb Williams, but my God, no, it was smart to hold on to what we had. Now, I'm not opposed to trading any player if it can make the team better in the long run, but I
Mike,
would never
listen to
made
this
that
one more
trade in a
time.
million years.
Colin Cowherd suggested we should have traded TJ Watt,
Nope.
George Pickens,
Nope.
and 3 first-round picks
No.
for Caleb Williams.
No.
That's a terrible take.
It's the worst take. Colin Cowherd's takes were the worst.
Yeah. No.
Mark Malone says, hopefully Ciamalo is back this week. If not, I hope to see more of a. Yeah, absolutely, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get Ciamalo back on that offensive line. He goes such a long way, and I think that people are going to notice that when he comes back, because I think it's going to come together. That line comes together when he's in there. He's a veteran. He's been to the Super Bowl. The guy's a monster.
Yeah, so, he was out there practicing yesterday.
Good. Yeah, I saw that. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Again, we will see Roman Wilson. So we do have some things working in our favor. And again, we are 3-0, so you do have a little bit of wiggle room. But again, you still have to win these games. Stack wins games that you should win, because again, the second quarter of the season with the Raiders and the Jets and the Cowboys and the Giants becomes a little bit more difficult once you insert the Jets and the Cowboys. Not so much the other 2 teams, but every quarter of the season seems to get a little bit more difficult for, on our schedule. So win these games now that you're supposed to. Again, I think that Anthony Richardson is one of the worst performing quarterbacks to this point by numbers in the season. I like that. Let's go to Indianapolis. Let's hit his ass. Let's TJ Watt and Nick Herbig, get a hold of him. Let's make a bunch of highlight reels, get the hell out of there, and get ready for the second quarter of the season. Mike, I do realistically think that we will be 4-0 at the end of this weekend.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to exercise the demons from last year of blowing that game, the game we should have won. The defense was kind of banged up at that point. I think that was before, when we lost Cole Holcomb, like those 3 games when Landon Roberts was just playing with like whoever you could find at middle linebacker. Now this team's going in relatively healthy, and defense firing on all cylinders. We should win this game. I hate saying like, oh, this should be a easy win for the Steelers, but it should. There's no easy wins in the NFL, but this one we should be able to go in there, handle business, get out with the W.
I think we're going to listen. I think we're going to go over 20, not by many, but I think we're going to go over 20 this week. I think we're going to maybe win 23 to 14, something along those lines. It's just the kind of score that the Pittsburgh Steelers have generally won by over the past 3 seasons. I don't see this being much different. However, every week the defense you would expect to get a little tighter. How much tighter can you get? Plus, you expect your offense to be a little bit more fluent. And, if we see that, I think a 23-14 win somewhere in this ballpark can totally be a possibility for the Colts and Steelers game on Sunday.
The Colts are giving up about like 20 points a game, so that could be right there first. And their rush defense is one of the worst in the league.
They got a nice running game, though. They do have
a
nice
great running game, but their run defense themselves is, I think, one of the worst in the league.
Yeah,
I think they're like the Steelers last or 31st.
Just the right team to slow down that run game as well. Because you thought, going into the Chargers game, that was going to be the Achilles heel, and it wasn't. We were able to stop the run. We were really effective in that area, and for that reason, we were able to win that football game. Guys, we're going to do picks, but for the sake of the show, let's go through all the other Pittsburgh sports scoop real quick. We'll come back and hit our picks because the Thursday night game is tonight between the Cowboys and the Giants. So we do have to get our picks in today to make them official. Of course, Derpy is in the lead for the season, 2 weeks to 1, playing for some Permani's sandwiches from the Permani brothers right here in Pittsburgh. Let me just jump around a little bit here real quick. The Penguins are back in action on Tuesday night. We didn't get to talk about it yesterday. They lost 3-2. The Penguins dropped to 0-2. Their next game is Saturday at 7 o'clock at Detroit. The Pitt Panthers, a big announcement here. Not only is their football team doing well, not only are they 4-0, but the women's volleyball team and the men's soccer team at Pitt University are number one in the nation. Pitt women's volleyball and men's soccer, number 1 in the country. Pretty awesome. Good for them. The Pittsburgh Pirates were back at it last night. They finally win 2-1 over the Brewers. Brewers coming to town red hot. Pirates win 2-1, improve their record to 74-84. Ortiz throws 7 innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and had 5 strikeouts. Chapman comes in to close the deal and get the save at the end of the night. Next game today at 12:35, here in about 20 minutes or so, the Pirates will play their last home game of the season. Game 3 of 3 against the Brewers, 12:35. Probables are Mitch Keller. He's 11-11. Wow, what did he slide? With a 4.21 ERA and 160 strikeouts on the season. He'll be facing off against Aaron Savell, who has a 7-9 record with a 4.53 ERA and 144 strikeouts on the season. Once they finish this game today, they'll have 3 games, all 3 in the Bronx. That series starts tomorrow against the Yankees, 3 games through the weekend, and there will be one more Skeens Day in there. So if you need a reason to watch the Pirates just one more time, they do play the Yankees, and Paul Skeens will be on the hill this weekend. Also, in the Pirates did win some awards. Brian Reynolds won the Roberto Clemente Award, and Paul Skeens won the Steve Blass Award. Those are awards awarded to Pittsburgh Pirate players. Bubba Chandler, minor league player of the year, the pitcher for the Indianapolis team, minor league team for the Pirates. He is the minor league player of the year. So hopefully we'll be seeing him sometime in the near future. But will he want to come up after what happened to Rowdy Tellez?
Right?
Mike, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
But I do want to comment on it. Rowdy Tellez, he gets to 421 at bats on the season. He needed to get to 425 to get a $200,000 bonus. The Pittsburgh Pirates send his ass down, designate him so he doesn't get his last 4 at bats to make $200,000 bonus. If this is not the most Pittsburgh Pirate thing I've ever seen in my life, if this is not a reason that free agents will never want to come to play here, if this is not a reason that the Pittsburgh Pirates are never good and are never going to be good, I don't know what is. What a rip. This dude played all season. I seen him dive and making plays at first base. Guy played night in, night out. The guy was in the cleanup position in the batting order. He gets sent down 4 at bats shy of making his $200,000 bonus. What a terrible thing. Come on, who does that, Mike? Beside the Pittsburgh Pirates, that is Pirate ownership in a nutshell.
That is Pirate ownership in a nutshell. He's
a good guy. He wasn't a head case. He was great in the locker room.
Yeah, tied for 4th in home runs. He had that snafu early in the season that rubbed people like me the wrong way. But no, he earned back the goodwill. He earned back the goodwill of the fan base. This guy showed up game in, game out, was there for all of his teammates through thick and thin. Let him finish out the season here. Pay him the $200,000 as a show of good faith for how good of a teammate this guy was. And that's only going to help you in the long run as an organization.
I'm going to remind people why people were mad at him. Because we were booing David Bednar because he wasn't playing any good.
Yeah.
And the new guy steps up and says, "Hey, we don't do that here. We don't listen." And people got upset because you know what? You're the new guy and you're telling us.
Yeah.
It was for doing the right thing.
It was for doing the right thing. Yeah. And he earned back. Like, I end up liking Rowdy Tellez because he proved that he should be a guy doing that. He shouldn't have done it to.
Well, then he looks just like you.
Oh, yeah. One fat guy to another fat guy. I'm standing up for him. We stand united.
Right.
But he got screwed over. And him and Michael A. Taylor, too. Michael A. Taylor may have sucked this year, but I'm sorry. These guys have been here day in, day out. Just
you want me to make
show
it even
them
worse
the respect. Show them the respect and let them finish out the season here.
You want me to make it even worse for you? They said this. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's because they wanted to bring up younger players, which is bullshit. Because for
who did they bring up?
It's 4 at bats short for one. Let the guy play one more game. For 2, the younger player was Josh Palacios, who's 6 months younger than Rowdy Tellez. 5 months.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old. He's 5 months younger than Rowdy Tellez.
And when you say we were aware of the clause, we just didn't, it didn't factor into it. That means you did factor it into the situation. Or what you would do is like, hey, Rowdy, we're going to designate you for assignment, but don't worry, man. We're going to cut you that check because you would have got it if you were up here. We want to take a look at some of these people down here. That's how you handle business appropriately and correctly. Say, we're not going to screw you out of the money.
I'm not even saying how to manage business correctly. I'm just going to say that I know it's effed up, and this is effed up.
Yeah, it's effed up. But I'm saying Yeah, if you're doing that to a guy, you still cut him the check, pay him, like let him know, like you're getting paid, dude. Put it out there
So
too, like don't worry, guys, he's getting paid.
in
But no,
turn with
not this team.
the great leadership in this organization, I just want to tell you where the Pirates are at with 4 games left on the season. That's right. They're in last place, guys. 16 games out, last place, 13 and a half games out of a wild card. So do what you want with that. Do what you want with that. And finally, the Fever. Of course, everybody knows that we cover Caitlin Clark here on the show. She is, I am a fan. They lose last night, 87-81. They lose the first round series to the Connecticut Sun, 2-0. The Sun advance. The Fever go home. Clark leads the game with 25 points. She had 9 assists and 6 rebounds. Caitlin Clark. In my opinion, of all the sports that seem to be fixed nowadays, this should be one that they should have kept her around at least another game. If not, go to the next round. I'm just saying, you stick up for Patty Mahomes. If anybody needs this person in their league right now, watch what attendance does in the WNBA from here on out in the playoffs. I'm just saying, just watch what happens now. Caitlin Clark has been eliminated, and the Fever are done.
It was like what the first game they had like 1.4 million people watch, and then all the other games were like 400,000 each.
Just again, just
yeah,
watch
the other 3. Yeah,
you know, the NHL they give you the call back in the third period. The NFL gives Patrick Mahomes the call in the fourth quarter. They could have at least thrown a bone here, because again, after Caitlin Clark is eliminated, which she as of last night is, I guarantee the numbers they fall drastically. I guarantee it. There's no way they still get numbers after she's eliminated. So what do you do? Guys, we're going to come back. We have to knock out our picks for the week.
Yes.
We're going to do that real quick. Mike, conversate with Derpy while I pull up the board.
All right. Hey, Derpy.
Yes.
All right. Did you hear what Artie Smith said about Darnell Washington?
I did not.
Oh yeah, he was saying how he's never had a tight end like him. He's never seen a tight end block like him. He can't wait to get him more involved in the offense. So hopefully we see some more targets to him, and give that passing game going, because he's a big body, big receiver, not just a great run blocker. But my God, more that he's involved in the offense, I think is going to help that dam break some more.
All right, guys. So we're gonna do the picks for the week. Derpy, of course, is up 2-1.
Fake
after
news.
3
Fake
weeks.
News.
And the winner at the end of the season they will get Permani's brothers food. What I'm gonna do today, guys, we're gonna start with the game tonight between the Cowboys and the Giants. I'm gonna start with Mike on the second game. I'm gonna start with Derpy and go back and forth. That way nobody really has an advantage to see what the other person's doing. Mike, I'm gonna start with you with tonight's game. It's the Cowboys at the Giants. Who do you like in this one?
Give me the Giants, baby.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Derpy, Cowboys at Giants. Who do you like?
The Giants.
What's going on? What am I missing?
Wow.
3 games in a row.
Wow.
These guys are going to lose to the Giants? The only team they beat was the Browns. Come on.
Hey, best defense in the league, baby. And Danny
Dimes
put up some points on them, baby.
All right, first game on Sunday, gentlemen. Derpy, this comes to you first. It's the Bengals at the Panthers. Panthers showed a pulse last week by putting the Red Rocket in. Who do you like in this game? The Bengals or the Panthers at home?
I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers.
The Panthers? What's going on?
Oh my God, Dirt, you stole my thunder, bro. Because I was gonna say the same thing. Give me Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, putting the nail in the coffin of Cincinnati at week 4.
Very interesting. I don't understand. All right, here we go. Third game, the Saints at the Falcons, Mike. The Saints at the Falcons. Saints scored a lot of points in the first few games. Falcons looking kind of iffy. What do you think? Saints at the Falcons.
Give me the Falcons. I think their defense will have just enough to slow down that Derek Carr-led offense.
Derpy, Saints at Falcons.
Give me the Falcons because it'll make us look better.
I like how Derby's just like, he's gonna win because he's doing it like that. I'm trying to look at numbers and stuff. I like Derby's philosophy here.
Remember that one time that kid that was like in a coma won the NCAA tournament because he had no idea what the hell was going on?
Yeah, just pointing. Yeah.
All right. So the next game, guys,
Yeah,
Jacksonville at Houston. Jacksonville at Houston.
Derby.
Derpy.
Houston bounce back.
All right, Mike. Same thing for you. Jacksonville at Houston.
I hate this. We're gonna have the same pick again.
And they're all
I
oddball picks. I mean, besides for this one, but geez, oh
Yeah,
man.
I'm out on Jacksonville. I'm out on Trevor Lawrence. He's approaching overhyped bust territory. Give me CJ Stroud.
All right. There we go. Next game, guys, is the Broncos at the Jets.
Ooh.
Mike, the Broncos at the Jets.
Give me Bo Nix
What?
over Aaron Rodgers, baby. Bo Nix was rolling last week. He's going to continue
You guys
on.
trying to pull one over on me?
And
What's going
Jaden
on?
Daniels are going to fight for Rookie of the Year this year. Give me Denver.
See, now I could tell you're just messing around.
I'm not.
Bo Nix over Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Okay. Derpy, over to you. The Broncos at the Jets.
Give me the diva Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Now we're talking some sense. Oh boy. Okay, so the Vikings at the Packers. Next game, Derpy, Vikings at the Packers. Who do you like?
Now this depends on if Jordan Love is back, right?
Mm,
I don't know if
and
he's back yet. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
he was practicing this week. I don't know if that means he's going to be starting or back or whatever, but I know that he was at practicing. You want Minnesota?
Yeah, I want Minnesota.
Mike, what do you think?
Give me Malik Willis
Ooh.
leading the Green Bay Packers to victory. I think this is going to be the toughest defense Sam Darnold has faced all year. It's going to be the toughest defense Green Bay has faced all year, but I'm taking Green Bay. Is it at Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me Green Bay at Green Bay.
All right. The LA Rams at Chicago. LA Rams just beat the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, I don't know what that is that they're doing up there, what that's called. Mike, the Rams at the Bears.
Give me the Rams until Chicago can figure out what they're going to do with their offensive line. I don't think they're going to win anything this year.
Derpy, same question. Rams at the Bears. Soldier Field.
Thank you for Justin Fields. Give me the Rams.
All right. Next game, guys, also a 1:00 game. The Eagles at the Buccaneers, Derpy. The Eagles at the Buccaneers.
I'm gonna go with Baker.
All right, Mike, over to you. This one is in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The Eagles at the Buccaneers. Sorry.
Give me Saquon and give me Philly. He's going to carry that team on his back all year long because Jalen Hurts sucks.
All right. Now, guys, we're on the 4:00 and beyond games. The Patriots at the 49ers, Mike. The Patriots at San Francisco.
Brock Purdy kind of silenced some doubters last week when he made Juwan Jennings look like the best receiver in the NFL. And give me San Francisco.
Derpy, New England at San Francisco.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because
Talk it out, Derpy.
it's tough because there's still a lot hurt, regardless of Purdy went off. But I hate them Patriots, so give me the 49ers.
Dang it, I was hoping you'd talk yourself into New England. I kind of regret my my Panthers pick.
All right, Derpy, the Commanders at the Cardinals. The Commanders come off with a nice win the other day. Or did they win? I don't know. They did something. Yeah, they
Commanders won.
And the Cardinals, Derpy, Commanders at Cardinals.
I think Jaden Daniels is the real deal. Give me the Commanders.
All right. Mike, do you think Jaden Daniels is the real deal? Derpy says the Commanders.
I do think Jaden Daniels is the real deal. I like what Arizona's doing. I kind of like what Washington's doing as well. This is a tough one, but I'm going to take Arizona in this one. This the home team. I'm going to give them a slight advantage.
Good enough. Mike, the Chiefs at the Chargers. The Chiefs at the Chargers. The defense that we just played Patrick Mahomes. I think this is going to give us a good, nice idea of how we should feel in the AFC. I
Yeah.
think.
Man, Patty Mahomes hasn't looked like himself. I wasn't impressed with that Chargers. Now they're out with Darwin James. I think Kansas City finds enough to get it done.
Derby, Chiefs at Chargers.
As the leader of the fan club, the Taylor Swift fan club, I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right. A few games left here, guys. Let's wrap this thing up. Getting close on time. Derpy, the Browns at the Raiders. The Browns at the Raiders. Who do you like?
Ooh. I gotta go Raiders. I can't choose Cleveland ever.
All right, Mike, same question to you. The Browns or the Raiders?
I hate to say it, but I'm going to take Cleveland in this one.
All right. The 8:20 game on Sunday is the Buffalo Bills at Baltimore Ravens. Guys, you gotta love the schedule. I mean, we go on and on about how tough our schedule down the road is, but the Ravens, they're getting their share of tough teams at the top of the season. Bills at Ravens. Who do you like?
I'm going to take Buffalo.
All right.
Yeah.
Derpy, Bills at Ravens.
Give me Buffalo.
Okay. Into the Monday night games. The Titans at the Dolphins. Derpy, Titans at Dolphins. Who do you like in this game?
I learned my lesson. Give me the Dolphins.
All right. Mike, same question to you.
Will Levis versus Skylar Thompson. What more of a marquee matchup do you want? God. In the battle of bad quarterback play, give me Tennessee.
All right. And finally, the last Monday night game of the week is the 8:15 start game. That is between the Seahawks and the Lions. I'm still waiting for the Lions to look like they looked last year. Yes, they look good, but last year they seem to be hitting on all cylinders, making it to the NFC Championship, which they should have won. Guys, the Seahawks, who are undefeated, or the home Detroit Lions, who were in the NFC Championship game last year. Derpy, who do you like in this one?
I like the hometown Lions.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions too. I think this is going to be a close game, but Detroit holds on for the win.
All right, guys. So one more, the most important game of the week, the Steelers at the Colts. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Steelers, Colts, and a score for your tiebreaker, and go.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh Steelers 23-10.
All right, Mike says Pittsburgh 23-10 for a total of 33 points for his tiebreaker. Derpy, last one, brothers. Steelers at Colts. I need a winner and I need a score. What do you got?
I am taking your Pittsburgh Steelers 24 17.
24-17. All right. So we have you also got the Steelers for a combined total of 41 points for your tiebreaker. And we are all set, guys. That is all the games. They are recorded. Again, Derpy's up 2-1 in this. And if whoever wins at the end of the season, whoever has the most wins by week will win Permani Brothers sandwiches here in Pittsburgh, which are freaking awesome. So there you go. We'll pull this back out on Tuesday after the Monday night games are played to go over it and see who won week 4. But Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
The2winzers.com. Go check it out, especially if you're new here. We have all of our links to all of our social medias for Ryan and I over there. We have the merchandise store over at the2winzers.com. Go check it out.
Over to the Dirt Man.
If you're new to the Dude Yinzer show, be sure to subscribe below and pound that like button.
There you go. All right, guys. So the question of the day, today's trivia is an Indianapolis Colts trivia question because that's what we do. Whoever the Steelers are playing, we ask trivia questions about their opponents all week to broaden our horizons a little bit, I guess, for no other reason. The question of the day is a Colts question, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, put your thinking caps on, guys on the board. Play along as well. People at home, here we go. This is the Indianapolis Colts, Baltimore Colts, the Colts, however you want to slice it. Who leads the all-time series between the Steelers and the Colts? Guys, simple question today. Who leads the all-time series between the Steelers and the Colts? Take a moment to think that over. We're live. We're live 5 days a week right here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube every day. We hope you continue to check us out. All right, guys. So the question of the day is this: who leads the all-time series between the Steelers and the Colts? Derpy, I'm going to start with you today. Who do you think leads the all-time series between these two teams in the NFL?
I'm gonna go with your Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, Derpy, Steelers. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, I'm locking Derpy in. Mike, same question to you. Who leads the all-time series between the Steelers and the Colts?
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. And is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, guys. So the question of the day is this: who leads the all-time series between the Steelers and the Colts? P on the board says Steelers as well. I got him locked in. The answer is not even close. The Steelers 27 wins to the Colts 7. 20 more wins. So there you go, guys. Yeah.
Ooh.
Guys,
that's pure domination.
That is pure domination. We'll have one more Colts trivia tomorrow to finish out the week, and then next week we'll be on to the next. But Mike, do you have anything before we start getting ready to wrap it up, man?
Yeah, this little thing for Artie Smith. He's saying he's seen a lot of growth in Justin Fields in his drop back passing games. He sees confidence growing each week. Hopefully, we'll see some more shots down the field. Called if he has that much confidence in.
I think it's going to start resembling more. I think we're going to start resembling more of a football team now. I really do.
We kind of saw it last week.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Derpy, what about you, man? Anything before we get ready to take off?
Oh yeah.
All right.
This
you never know with Derpy. It could be a song.
You never know. You never know.
This is entertainment news.
All right.
Batman is getting his Hollywood star.
Really?
Today.
Michael Keaton?
No, just the character.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That works.
That's interesting.
Here's mine. This is from the Pittsburgh City Paper.
Oh God.
Not the Post Gazette, not the anything like it. The Pittsburgh City Paper is literally what it's called. Best place to cry. It has questions like best place to cry, best place to, So the one that I actually that I found was interesting is the best place to have sex in public, according to the Pittsburgh City Paper. Now, again, it gives you like different things, the best place to cry in Pittsburgh, best place to this. This is best place to have sex in public in Allegheny County is the Allegheny Cemetery, number one. Number two, the Cathedral of Learning on the Pitt campus in Oakland. And number three, according to the Pittsburgh City Paper, best place to have sex in public is the Southside Burger King. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. According to the Pittsburgh City Paper, not the Post Gazette. I don't want any confusion. It's called the Pittsburgh City Paper. Best place to have sex in public, the Allegheny Cemetery. Number two, the Cathedral of Learning, and number three, the Southside Burger King. So if you're ever in town and you feel the need to have some public sex, there you go. There's your guide.
You learn something new every day.
You learn something new every day on this show.
We should have led the show off with that.
I was going to, but
that would have been a more conducive
with this
conversation. Yeah, but you got that light worked up. You got me screaming about
the renegade. Yeah,
me and you yelling at each other.
We just couldn't. But I do want to say thank you, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out with us today, checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really, really, truly do. We wouldn't do it without you. I do want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. Totally 100% grateful. We really are. Today, the Pirates, they just started 1 minute ago. If you are interested in watching the Pirates play their fourth to last game of the season, they just threw out the first pitch. And also tonight, the Cowboys at the Giants, Thursday Night Football. That we'll be talking about tomorrow for sure, along with the games heading into the weekend, along with college football and so many other things heading into the weekend. There's always plenty of sports here in the Berg weekend. So we will be back tomorrow to talk about all those things. Mike, am I missing anything?
No, I think we got it all, man.
All right. So again, everybody, thank you. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow. Wrap up the week again. Get heavy into the Steelers and the Colts. We'll talk about this game tonight and the rest of the games in the NFL, along with a lot of other things, guys. I do want to say thank you so much, everybody. Mike from the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, Derpy, myself, the two Don Yinzers. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.